Okay, so I'm going to talk about my planning and how I plan for the year. I always start with, I call it my planning notebook. And basically, what I have here is how I'm going to keep attendance for the year. Because I like to start with thinking about what days we're going to be going to school, how many weeks we need, how I want to structure our yearly plan. So what I did was I printed this out. It's one of those custom things that you could do online. So we're starting in August, so I have August 2017 all the way through July 2018, because that on my declaration of intent, I give myself a full year, 365 days to get in my 180 days of school. So this is going to be where I mark the actual days that we do school on here. And then I printed off 2 extra copies, one for my daughter and one for my son, and these will be their official attendance that I will write their names on and sign and date and everything. So basically what I do for attendance, in my state, we just have to keep attendance. We don't have to show hours or anything like that. So what I do is I just highlight the day that we do school. So if we do school on August 1st, I will just highlight that one. And then I will highlight and make sure that we get in our 180 days. Now, I have decided, and then I have a calendar here. So in my calendar, I will, sorry about the glare. Let me take it out of the sleeve. Oops. Okay. So on my calendar, I will write in important stuff like first day of school. All right, my daughter's birthday party. Okay, and then I actually highlight what days I plan to do school. So, and I only do that maybe a couple of months ahead. I stopped right there. So I'm highlighting what days we're expecting to do school. So we don't have anything going on in the month of August that would keep us from doing school. And as you can see, I am doing 4 days a week. My husband and I own our own business, and we work together there on Saturday, so we can't do school on that. And then we always my husband and I both take Sunday and Mondays off. So this is kind of like our weekend. So we don't do school on Sunday and Mondays. And then my husband works these days, but I do not. I'm at home doing homeschool. So that is why we're doing 4 day a week, because I have to be able to fit in my one work day, and then I like our family 2 day weekend. So what I decided, since we're doing 4 days, is that we'll do 45 weeks of school instead of 36. So I kind of know I usually will write I have a little 1 for week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and I kind of just will go through and know about when we should end our school year based on the 45-week plan. So that's what I do for the calendar. And I don't go ahead and plan the entire school year out in advance as far as day by day. So what I do is, like I said, I kind of have a plan of when school will be done and make sure that, it's feasible to get it in. But we like to take a lot of kind of last minute vacations and field trips and things like that. So I don't plan each day to the date. I plan it to the week. So if you'll see here, I have week 1, and then instead of it saying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or a date, it'll say day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. So this is my weekly planning sheet. And this is for 2 kids, because I have, my son is in kindergarten this year, and my daughter will be in 3rd grade. And then I also have a 3-year-old, but she's not on here because we don't do any special planning with her, even though she is sometimes a part of what we're doing. So this is for 2 kids, and these are all the subjects that we do in a day. I could not find a school planner that I really like that gave me enough room or enough spaces for all of the subjects with 2 kids, and I wanted both children to be on one sheet. And I wanted the whole week on one sheet. So what I did was I made my own. I used graph paper and a ruler, and then I copied it onto a piece of white paper, and I actually put the subjects in as well, and then I made a bunch of copies. So I couldn't find anything. If you guys know of something out there that's pre-made, please let me know. But this is what I needed. I needed a lot of different room for subjects. So I have it in order of our day. So I have Bible, character education, which we do together. Then I have my son's math, my daughter's math, my son's language arts, daughter's language arts, literature, which we do together, science together, son's logic, daughter's logic, son's other subjects, which will include He's got name here, cooking here, birthday here, calendar practice here. My daughter's other subject, she's got cooking, cursive, typing, and then a blank. And then our extra, which we do together. And this will be art on day 1, STEM on day 2, Spanish on day 3, poetry on day 4. And then I had a little note section so I could be like, put in things that I needed for the week to buy or to get ready. So this one says like set up phonogramm cards and sight words, print out creation book and coloring pages, poster board cut in half, and stuff for sandwiches. So that's my whole weekly planning sheet. And I have planned all the way up to, well, I printed out up to week 10, but I haven't planned all the way. I don't like to plan too far in advance because, you know, things change. And I think last year I planned like the whole first half of the year out, and I wrote it all in pen, and that was definitely a mistake. So anyways, that's my planning for the, I'll do that for the week, and each week I'll have that ready to go. All right, so I did also plan a couple of subjects because so I have some under my son's tab here in my planning notebook. I have some just notes about what I wanted to go through for the year. This was when I was doing my yearly planning. So I have some basic things that I wanted to make sure I incorporated, like writing and spelling his full name, geography relation, like the solar system, and then the Earth, and then the U.S., and then Georgia, where we live, and then so and so and so on. And then I wanted to do like city, and then street, and then tie that into his address. I wanted him to be able to tie his shoes. Easy cooking and meal prep. He's actually going to make lunch one day a week, and my daughter's going to make lunch one day a week. That's part of their school. Phone number, character ed, birthday. So just some things that don't really fit into a certain subject, but things I wanted to learn. And then I wrote down the different subjects and my curriculum choices for that. Also for literature, I am doing my own literature curriculum for both kids this year, and it's basically just going to be read aloud. That's what we're doing for lit. So we did Sunlight last year, so I did some of the read alouds from here that I can either get from our previous Sunlight package or just look up at the library. And then some more ideas for library books for read alouds. Then I've got his sight words that we're going to be going over this year. He's going to be doing pre-primer and primer sight words. We didn't do any in pre-K, so that's why we're doing pre-primer. And I think that's pretty much it. Okay, then under my daughter's tab, I had her different subjects written out, and then I went into her language arts, and so she's got reading. For reading, she's doing pathway readers. For spelling, she's doing spelling you see. For writing, daily 6 straight writing. For grammar, first language lessons. For poetry, we're going to be going to the library to pick up poetry books and reading poems from Where the Sidewalk Ends in cursive. Okay. And then her sight words, her basic phonograms that she needs to know. We learned all these last year in Logic of English Foundations D, but I'm just going to kind of quiz her on these ever so often and make sure she doesn't forget them this year. And then another list for literature read alouds for her. And then on the back I have readers, because she will, when she runs out of those pathway readers, we'll be going to the library, and here's some ideas for different readers if I can't find any. Okay, so then under my planning tab, this was also for yearly planning. This is when I decided I was going to do 4 school days a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and 45 weeks at 4 days equals 180 days. Here's our school calendar. These are all the subjects, and in the parentheses I have how many days they're going to do each subject. So like Bible 4 days, she'll do Bible 4 days, and so on. So as you see, for science it's 2, and history it's 2, science and history. So that alternates. Geography and logic are also each 2, and those will alternate each day. All right. Oh, and poetry is 1 day. We do those on Friday. Okay, here was my curriculum choices. I'm going to do a whole video on curriculum, so I'll just skim through this real quick. But for Bible, we're doing DLTK Bible, which isn't on here. We're going to be reading out of the kids' Bible and doing our daily devotions and memory verses. For character ed, I just wrote Pinterest because I just came up with my ideas basically off Pinterest and just thinking of stuff myself. Okay, for math, son is doing Right Start Math B and Life of Fred. Daughter's doing Teaching Textbooks 3. She's already started on that. She's about less than 30 on that. Son is doing for Language Arts Foundation, Logic of English Foundations A. My daughter's doing Pathway Readers for Reading, Spelling UC for Spelling. I think we already went through all that. Okay. For literature, we're doing the reading list and read alouds through the library. For science, I was going to get Apologia, but I have decided to go the cheap and free route and make my own science curriculum. So I will try and make a video on just how I did my science curriculum, but we're basically going to be using YouTube, experiments, and the library for science. History, we're using quite a few things and I'm mixing them together. I have on here the draw and write through history, which we are going to use, YouTube videos, which we are going to use. I love using videos for history. I think it really helps with that. We're also using, for my son, the BD's History of Me, and then we're going to go into some American studies and use BD's History of Us for both of these. And then I'm also using What Your Kindergartner Needs to Know for some history. All right, for geography, they're both doing workbooks. And then poetry I already discussed, and then logic, they're also both doing workbooks. So we do have logic as a subject. All right, so this was my plan for my 3-year-old, just a few things I want to do with her. And then I was kind of planning my first day and week activities and our routine. I like to have a routine versus a schedule because it's hard for me to stay on a tight schedule as far as time. But I will go through that in another video, what my routine is. And then this was just a sample, like estimated schedule. I was just kind of seeing if we started at 9:30 with our Bible, we'd probably be done with school and snack around 3 o'clock, which is great because we can play with the neighborhood friends when they get home from school. So that was kind of my goal. And then, yeah. Okay. And, okay, so then I started planning my individual subjects. So for math, you'll see here I have Bible, and also under this tab I have my character education. I have literature, which is our read aloud, science, and history. We're also doing logic. I don't need to plan that because they're workbooks. We're doing math, of course, and I don't need to plan that because the curriculum has that already for me. Same with language arts. The curriculum has day by day what I need to do. So there's no planning other than just me writing on our planning sheet like language arts lesson 1. You know, that's all I have to do for planning for those subjects. So these are the subjects that I don't have a curriculum for, and I'm kind of making up my own curriculum for these. So for Bible, I've decided to do the DLTK, and I have basically each week what topic we're going to discuss, and then I have the weekly format. So for instance, on week 1, we are studying creation. So week 1, day 1, we would do a memory verse having to do with creation, read the story, and draw a picture of creation. Day 2, we would do the memory verse again, read the scripture on it, because see, first we'll read the story, and then we'll read the actual scripture, and then we'll do a coloring sheet. Day 3, we'll do the memory verse, read the story in the children's Bible, and then do a craft with the creation. And then day 4, we'll test on the memory verse, watch a video of the story, and read the scripture again. So that's kind of the daily schedule for that. And then I had my character ed. Now, I said before I got this all on Pinterest, and I did. So basically what I just did was I wrote down the topics, and I just have a ton of different character education topics that I want to go through. A lot of these are specific to my children and things they need to work on. And so, yeah, we'll pick one of these each week. I've already planned up through week 10, I think, and that's why some of these have checks, because they've already been put on the agenda to study. And we'll go through different things, different activities, and books and things with them each week. Okay, then I have my lit, which is the list of the read alouds. These are the ones we already have at the house, and this is going to say how many days. So our very first read aloud this year is going to be Miss Piggle Wiggle. And there are 8 chapters, and so we are going to read that for 8 days, 1 chapter a day. Science, like I said, I will do a video on, but I basically, since we're doing 45 weeks, I broke it into 5 9-week periods. The first 9 weeks is going to be Intro to Science. Second is going to be Solar System, Animals, Weather and Earth, and Matter, Energy, and Magnets. And then I broke it down further by week. So the first 9 weeks, which is Intro to Science, I have each week and the exact topic we're going to talk about within this broader topic. And then there's the second, and then back here, I went through like all the stuff I've pinned for science on Pinterest, and I kind of saw which category it fit in, so we could do some really fun stuff with science, like draw our own inventions, I don't know. Okay, so second 9 weeks, all the activities we're going to do, third 9 weeks, activities, fourth 9 weeks, and the activities, and the fifth 9 weeks and the activities. And then these are some YouTube channels because I like to watch YouTube videos. Okay, so for history, I just kind of done a basic plan of what we're going to be talking about. And then I broke it down further, of course, when I did my actual planning here. So we do history twice a week and we do science twice a week. And that is how I did my planning. And in my next video, I will show you guys my schedule and how I'm breaking up the day to do it with 2 children who are still both in kind of young grades and need a lot of time with me. And it took me a while to get it because I wanted to make sure everyone had breaks and that my 3-year-old got some attention. And so I will do that video next. Let me guys know if you have any questions, and see you later.